Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? You heard of Christy Mixie. Nah, she is not the victim. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this live stream a bit short. So I'm gonna do the top 5 hardest stage, most likely on extreme. Now, the reason I'm doing this video, or the reason I find this video necessary, is because if you find yourself beating one of these 5 stages, you're gonna come up with the confidence to play the other stages and eventually beat the whole thing on extreme. Now, I'm not gonna count Marseille because it's a DLC and I don't think it counts, but uh I'm not gonna count New York Dead in the Water, and I'm most definitely not gonna count the Resurrection because those stages wasn't out when Extreme came. So, at number 5, hardest stage, we have uh, this stage right here, the Descent. Now, what makes this stage hard and why did it come in at number 5? Now, at number 5, I thought it was a fair place to put it. Now, the most problem that people get is the what they call it, the atrium, where you fight the zombies that's climbing the wall, and they're like coming from everywhere. They're coming from the top floor, coming down, and they coming from the bottom, climbing up, and they're also coming from these little vents. You know, they crawl through these vents on the wall, and they come at you. I mean, they're coming at you from all over, and there is hardly no safe strategy to beating this stage. Like, you can come up with a plan, but it most likely is not going to work. So you can only hope to get past that part. So if you can get past that part right there, which is the hardest part of the stage, then I think you can pretty much beat what's coming up ahead, because there's only 2 more hordes that you have to face, and the last one is probably going to be tough because you have to carry probably 12 cases, maybe 13 cases, but I'm banking on 12 on extreme. And then on extreme, you're not going to know which door to go through. You're not going to know where to get the cases because you won't be able to see it. So, but when you get there, there is a strategy, there is a plan that you can use to beat it. And that way it puts it at number 5. So the plan is, there's a door at the end of the hallway. Once that door open, you can get somebody to go in this room. Now this room can only open outward, but if the room open inward, then you're in trouble. So the best thing to do is to find that room that opens outward, because they can't break in if the doors open out. So if you get one person to sit there and not kill the zombies that's banging up against the door, it would be a lot easier, because if you kill the zombies gonna have to respawn. And then when they respawn, then they're gonna be all over your teammates that's running around picking up the box. And they need as less zombies possible to be distracting them and hitting them. because you're going to be distracting probably 60% of the zombies. Now, the person that's going to be stuck in this room, he needs to be probably a medic or a fixer. Okay, so that's the number 5 hardest stage. Now, coming in at number 4, we have this stage right here. Now, most people would put this stage at number 1, but this stage is number 4. The reason I put it at number 4 is there's only one legitimate problem, and that's the first wave, where you're supposed to help the military clear out the waves, and you're supposed to close 2 of the panels. Now, if you're able to get past that, then the rest is easy, just about. So basically, if you've seen my video on how to use a fixer for the ship and how to use a Hellraiser for the ship, then it'll be a lot easier for you to get past this. And on the other hand, you don't really have to do it. I know there's going to be somebody saying you don't need to do it. You can just play it, but if you just play it, you're going to probably retry it like 11 times or 12 times. And then what's going to happen is people are going to start giving up, and then you have to get other randoms to try to help you. Number 3, the toughest stage, number 3 would have to be this right here. What makes this the hardest is I would probably say the last horde, because you're going to have to be picking up 9 car parts, and you're going to be taking a lot of beatings, and you're going to need 1 person to guard Gringo and 3 other people scattered out looking for car parts. And upon getting there, Gringo is going to be such a liability because he's going to always fall behind, and one zombie could like pin him down. You could be as far as like jumping down off the rock, and then all of a sudden Gringo is still left behind in the warehouse getting his ass beat, and then you can't go back and save him. Number 2, I would say Tokyo 1. Now, there is an easier way to beat in Tokyo 1, but you're going to need a Hellraiser with the thumper. The thumper can clear out the zombies off the bus like real easy. So that secondary grenade launcher is very much needed. But also you're probably going to need exterminator as well, who can set down more equipment. But even knowing how to do that would still not make it a lot more easier. And the hardest stage of them all goes to this stage right here. This is the hardest stage in the game to beat on extreme, for obvious reasons, because once you're in the museum, you have to know exactly where to go. You have to know where to find the alarms. And then a lot of times you can mistakenly go back where you came from and all that stuff. And by the time before you can realize where you need to be gone, the game is over because you've been overwhelmed. Now, there is a solution other than hoping to find somebody who know this stage and the layout real well, because I was lucky to play with somebody. I actually uploaded a video with when I was playing with the person who was carrying the whole team by her goddamn self, and uh, I think she was a medic. She was a medic. So she was stemming herself and running around picking up other stem pistols and picking up other guns and ammos. Sometimes, sometimes when you're spectating, you can also see other things that other people don't see. Because I seen that she left behind a lot of needed stuff like health kits, or more, probably more stem pistols. But you don't have to really try to rely on getting lucky by having the top 10% of people who know the layout real well, because I think the hardest part is getting out of that museum, because I think you have to find like probably 4 or 5 buttons to hit, because once you open the door, I think they're going to set off another alarm. Then you have to go and shut that down, and all that type of shit. So that's pretty much it. So once you beat one of these 5 stages, your confidence will skyrocket.